What is your name?
My name is Abusaq. I'm a CIS major at UFO, and I'm international student from Saudi Arabia.
Interesting. So, I called you here because you're doing something called BDS, and it has something to do with the Gaza Strip. Can you tell me more?
Yes, actually, I'm part of a super group, which is Student United for Palestinian Equal Rights. We started this group at the end of last term. We are a group to raise the issue about what's going on in Palestine and for the Palestinian rights.
Okay.
Part of our missions and goals is to pass the BDS resolution at UFO, and we did it last like 2 weeks ago. So BDS actually it's boycott, divest, sanctions on the corporation that support the IDF, the of Israel. So IDF is being accused of do a lot of inhumanitarian thing like human rights violation against the Palestinian people in West Bank and in Gaza. Yeah, it's been 70 years for Palestinians since the what we call it catastrophe or Nakba in Arabic. We just decided to do something to the Palestinian people. We have like Palestinian students in campus. We are Arabs. We have people they support the cause because like we believe it's a just cause, and raising the issue about it's really good. And back to the BDS, actually, BDS is, as I said, like boycott, divest, sanction on corporations, and we listed for the BDS resolution that we passed about 7 corporations that they've been accused of supporting either the IDF or they have their land on colonized land, actually, for Palestinian, and it's. It's with the 3 goals for the BDS. Like if that 3 goals been achieved, so we don't need that BDS anymore, which is end the occupation of the Arab lands, recognize the Palestinian, the Arab Palestinian or the Palestinian in Israel, and give them their equal rights. And the right of return for the whole refugees based on the UN 194 resolution. So this is the only 3 goals, and we believe it's really it's fair to ask. And the whole BDS movement actually it's inspired by the apartheid in South Africa in 80s and 90s from last century. And that's it. And it's civil Palestinian society movement, like over 170 civil Palestinian societies. They signed it in 2005, and it's been going on since then. So, and it's been passed actually for in a lot of the campuses across the country, and even like in Oregon, it was like passed in PSU 2016.
Interesting.
So yeah, this is kind of the whole thing about BDS.
Could you expand on when you say that they're supporting IDF is supporting companies that are
No, the company is supporting the IDF.
the companies are supporting
Yeah,
IDF.
like they make a lot of like either technology or like pay the actual money like as a finance and all of that stuff. Yeah.
So would they be working with? Have you heard of the tunnels, the smuggling tunnels being flooded with sewage water?
You mean the tunnels in the from Gaza to Egypt?
Yeah.
What do you think? This is another story because like this is part of the blockade
Yeah.
against Gaza, which is it's not just Israel actually. It's more with getting like Egypt involved. I mean the Sisi government got involved in that, and yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
And Gaza right now is really a special case based on human rights. It's something people they should know about what's going on. It's really inhumane, and yeah, it's really sad. We have a Palestinian student from Gaza. What's going on? It's it's inhumane in a way, no one knows about it here on campus. No one talks about it, and we have Muhammad from Gaza, and every day since the whole thing happened 9 weeks ago till now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Almost 2 months. More than that.
Yeah, more than that. So like imagine that he has to wake up in the night just like to make sure he's not, because like the time
yes.
gap, you know.
Because he's
And then I tears the day there, and he needs like to make sure his family is okay, all of that stuff, and it's really hard to find them sometimes. It's really hard, and he been like worried about them.
Muhammad is from the side of
From Khan Yunis, which is like
the east side of the Gaza Strip.
Yep.
That's under attack.
It is under attack. It is under attack, and last week they got like 2 people they killed from there.
To segue into that, have you heard about the nurse that was shot?
Razan. It
Yes.
was like 2 days ago, yeah, and that's even like that was so sad in her chest, and she was just like a medic staff. She helping people, give them their needs for the first aid, all of that stuff. Like it's really sad. She even like she didn't have any weapon, even like rock at all. She was helping people
A stretcher.
while they shot.
Yeah.
So
Nothing.
and that's another, and no one talks about it, and it's really sad for us if that was in Western country, if that happened, but with the reaction of the media, how it's gonna be. Like just like in one day about 60 people they were killed, which is the day of Nakba. 60 people just in one day. It's okay here, no one talks about it. So, or like if they talked about it, they talk about it in a shy way, like it's just like we had to talk about it. It's something we can't like avoid. And thinking of people here, they're from there, or people they are really activists in human rights. That's really sad. That's really disappointing. Like how people they differentiate between human beings. Like it seems like they are not equal. If it happens in somewhere else, the reaction is gonna be different. If in that part of that world, okay, no one cares, so they deserve to be dead. And this is the thing. Like we are all human. We should like feel each other. If it's in that way, that's really sad, because like that will support the thing. Like if something happened again in the future against some people, they said, oh, they didn't support us, so we will not go there. They deserve what they have. This is not a logic, and it's gonna be just like make that circle like going on. So when something happened to any group of human beings, we should like stand. We should support them to get their own rights. It doesn't matter if they're Palestinian, if they're African, if they're American, if they're European, if they're Asian, Indians, anywhere. We should be like human beings. We should like feel each other. We should like sympathize each other. And it's really hard to get to that sympathy way unless we should be aware of who we are and what we should do.
Exactly. I wanted to ask, what do you think of the quote of Gaza Strip as a standing prison?
Standing prison. I think even like if it was a standing prison, it's gonna be much way better than what they have right now, because like at least in the prison you will make sure people will get their food every day, their water every day, their electricity every day. They will walk. They will be safe. You know, in a prison you will be safe. Like it's not that dangerous as you didn't know something will happen. It's much way worse. We're talking about just like a week. They are allowed of water just like for 3 days maybe, for a week. And they have like certain time for 2 or 3 hours of electricity just a day. Imagine you live just like 20 hours of your day without electricity. How your life's gonna be like? Just imagine. They are not allowed to travel unless like something of miracles. Like if you go to Muhammad, my friend, and I think you know him, if you just ask him how he get to here in the US, you will cry. You will cry like, what's going on in this world? Like what? It's not fair. And just talk to someone who has like dual citizenship, American and Israeli, and see how they just like whenever they decide to go, they can go like this, either like West Bank or anywhere else, and they come back like easy for them, easy access to go there. But like talking about Palestinian, either from Gaza, which is like much way worse than West Bank, or the West Bank, you will see like how many checkpoints, how many dangerous through there, like how many obstacles and dangerous situation they just passed through just to go to Jordan, and from Jordan they were gonna fly to anywhere else. And ask who are eligible to get that one. It's not for everyone. And who gave them the permission? It's the Israeli government. So it's apartheid. It's apartheid in many different ways. Even like I think it's worse than apartheid. Even like Noam Chomsky says that it's worse than apartheid. Apartheid is much way better than what they have right now. So yeah, Gaza it's kind of like even worse than standing prison, as you said, and yeah, it's really sad. People they should talk about it. People they should stand with the Palestinian, with Gaza people, and just like to stop the massacre of the Israeli, the IDF. It's it's unbelievable what's going on. It's really unbelievable.
Two more questions. So a lot of people bring politics into this. Is this a political issue or is this more of a human rights issue? And
It depends.
yeah,
As for me, I think it doesn't now relate to any political issues. You get people they kill every day, so and they don't have weapons. And if it's political, okay, let's go. If we were to say like it's a political issue, talking about political between two countries, am I right? This is the conflict. Do you call Palestine a country? No, it's not. It's a relationship between like occupied and occupier. They don't have their own decision. They can't imagine. They don't have airports. Like they can't fly from Palestinian airport to anywhere else. They don't have a coast to go there. It's like everything. It should be like like everything, like from the export or the import, should go through the Israel. So is that politics? So what it is? It's a human rights issue. It's about time.
very nice. And the second question is, so with BDS, what can you hope to accomplish with it, and how do you see U of O changing in the future, and how else would you want U of O to change in the future?
For the BDS, it's, as I said, like it's that kind of like civil Palestinian society movement. It has that three goals that I already said: in the occupation, the right of return of the refugees, and make sure and recognize the Palestinian and Israel, Palestinian people in Israel, their equality and their rights. I think it's really a good movement. It's inspired, as I said, by apartheid. The apartheid movement at that time, like during the apartheid in Africa and that movement, the boycott that they did, it worked like after 20 years. What will happen? And it's really good to shock people in a way. For the first time they hear about the BDS, they think like, oh, that's anti-Semitic, oh, that's blah blah blah, and that thing. But like, raise the issue. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti any human rights thing. It's actually based on a human rights issue. Like it's based like it is really important, even like to the Palestinian side, to have that hope. The international community, they support them that way, and that will say them, don't react violently, just like we are with you, and you will get your right. So I think that it's a peaceful movement that will let the Palestinians themselves to believe in the international community. They will back them up, and that's it. And that will tell the Israeli and the Israeli government or the IDF, stop the thing, and the corporation, hey, you should stop all of that thing. It's not about capitalism anymore. It's not about like making money. It's about a human rights issue. And we brought that to the UFO, and I was shocked of how people really respond to this. We got like more than 30 diverse student group. They endorsed the whole thing. We got like about like 300 other students. They signed it like individually. Students from UFO signed the petition to support the BDS. We got a lot of people. They talked during the resolution proposal, or like the debate. It was like 3 hours of debating. I think it's really important to make sure people they know about that things in that way. So there's no excuse now. You should know about it. you do your research. It's not about something that you hear from the media and you believe what it says in the media, because like the media is part of the propaganda, and it's that kind of like political interest in any way. It was really, and for me personally, and for the super group who proposed the BDS, it was shocking the way that the President Shell responded, like in less than 24 hours. He responded to the BDS. He accused them. He said it's a political thing. He said a lot of false information about BDS itself. In a way, it's really disappointing. He didn't reach out to us before he did that. He didn't recognize the Arab or Palestinian students in the university. He just picked a side and included himself as a Jewish community, and when he did that, he excluded the Jewish people, the Jewish students. They were supporting us and they were debating with us and they proposed with us. So it's disappointing, and it's disappointing for me, like in a way that even like he didn't know what's going on in there. Like he's a law professor, and he's the president of this university. And the way that he responds, it's really disappointing for me as a student. I don't care if I'm Arab or anything. As students, just like to say it in that way. And that's the thing. Hopefully, what's going on, that will encourage the political science department and philosophy department and all of the social science departments to pay attention to that issue, to that conflict, to that cause, and talk about it freely, and let people talk about it for both sides. Because like, if we didn't raise the issue, if we didn't like talk about our conflicts, I think I wouldn't call we have inclusive society if we just like avoiding talking about these issues. It's not inclusive. We will have that kind of like, oh, I will not talk that because like it's not allowed to me to talk about it. But if we raise the issue, and yeah, we will disagree, yeah, we will have that debate, yeah, we will have that kind of like two camps or something. But at the end of the day, we should know that we are human beings. We should. It doesn't mean being like inclusive. We should like agree, no, or like non-divisive. That means like we should like have the same, to conform everyone else. No, it's really healthy society. It's really healthy community to disagree, to challenge each other, and to say no, you're wrong in this, and this is the evidence of that, and the other side they say no, that's wrong. This is blah 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 blah. This is what it should be. This is the university. This is the college life of students. It should be like that. It should be like challenging. You're preparing people to be able to lead. It's not just like people just like to follow what's going on. So we will not change anything if we just like follow what's going on. We should like challenge ourselves in college, and after graduating from college, students are ready to go to the real life with that kind of like conflict, with that kind of like issues, and they already ready to know what they should do. That's it.
I'm gonna check. So have you experienced any bias with like you were talking about President Shell earlier? Anything else?
Yeah, of course. Beside the presidential, it was like the Emerald.
Okay.
And how they treat the whole situation of BDS, because I reached out to them to ask them to cover the whole thing, and we had the meeting before the day before the resolution proposal, and they were there. And after the meeting, it was like at maybe 7 p.m. we ended up the meeting, and the guy asked me to do an interview, and I was fasting. It was Ramadan, and I did it for about 30 to 40 minutes, and they just like published yesterday or the day before the whole thing, the whole report, and he didn't mention me in that 30 or 40 minutes at all, my talk. And at the end he said Abusaq, the director of Super, didn't follow up our interview question, our request. I did the first time. What I did, why you didn't like include that? And why I didn't follow up with him? Because like it's been biased online every day, like after the presidential statement and after the resolution got passed, they didn't like mention why the senators, like why we got like a 12 out of 6. They say yes. What we proposed, how our speech was kind of like powerful or effective. They always like said what's the other side wanna say. They didn't mention any of our effort that we did during the BDS or like before the BDS proposal. So that's really disappointing, and I didn't feel included either like in Emerald or like by President Shah. I feel like I'm targeted from them, and somehow like I'm not included there. And it's not my right to reach out to them either, like to have a freedom of speech in the official university newspaper, or even the president. He didn't give me a chance to express myself. He didn't ask me why you did that, what's going on. So yeah, that's the bias that I had, which is disappointing somehow. And actually, I don't care about this. It's been something that I expected, but it's really sad. We are here at university. We are like in modern society. We are civil society. We care about. We have all opinions. We have this opinion and the other opinion. I think that's a lie. That's what I get to. Like it's just propaganda. So we had just like on Thursday, we did a discussion event about BDS and the mills, and it was really good. Like we had about like 5 to 6 from the opponent show up, like individually they showed up, and we had that kind of like conversation, and it was really civil conversation. It was respectful. It was like we had that kind of forth and back question and answers. It was really good. Why not? So, and I believe people, if they get rid of the effect of the media for propaganda and they just like investigate by themselves, I think they will know what's going on better. Like, just like take that emotional, take that like already the side that you picked before, try to seek the truth. You will find what's going on.
Thank you for coming, Abdul. I hope you had a fun time. I learned a lot.
Thank you so much, and you are most welcome. I learned from you a lot as well, and thank you for your questions, and thank you for this interview, and thank you for raising this issue.
Thank you.
Really, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any last words?
I want to see free Palestine. I want to see fight for any human rights issue. Fight for those people, whatever they are, whoever they are. It doesn't matter their race. It doesn't matter their language. It doesn't matter their religion. We are all human beings. We should believe we are all one race. And this is the thing, when we liberate ourselves, of our ignorance. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks. Nice. You're good with words.
I wish.
No!